Good evening and welcome back, MLE, brought to you by APM Music. We're jumping into the Master League. We got Foxes, we got Hurricanes, and Desk. The Hurricanes coming out of the pick'ems this week. I think it's 73%, if I had it correct.
73%.
Heavy favorites here.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you who you think is going to take this game.
Well, I think that's a good one. I think, honestly, I would call this one an upset alert. You have the Foxes, who are in second place right now in threes in ML. Both teams coming off an 0-5 loss. So you want to come out strong here this week. You know, someone's going to come away the winner this week, so someone's going to bounce back. But who is it? The Foxes on paper should have this, but they have the community support. And who knows, maybe they have the heart to pull this one off.
Yeah, so something I want to note here, Desk, is the Foxes no Metagriff this week. Their highest salary and I think statistically their best player. But the three guys on the field for the Foxes right now, Just PC, Donovan, or that are going to be on the field, I should say, and Donovan, Just PC, and Badgie, all very good players in their own right. PC making his jump to ML late or middle of last season, and now he's up to a 17 salary, so he's cruising his way up the ranks. Badgie, also a good stay in ML, and Donovan, a long stay in ML. Former Shadow player, which is the team I currently am on, but they're all good players. These guys play a lot. Only 5 players on their roster, so you know these guys get their games in together, and that is probably why, like you said, they're sitting in that second position.
Yeah, one of the things that concerns me, though, is if you don't have Metagriff on the field as the Foxes, you just notice that their play decreases significantly when Metagriff is not on the field. They had some struggles. Last week, they got 5-0'd, and he wasn't on the field. He wasn't playing for him. So you see the trend. The Foxes doing really well up until they don't have him. We're going to see here if this is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, and for the Hurricanes, Morgan, their top goal scorer, 18 goals on the season, is on the field for them. So, again, this lineup for the Hurricanes really going to be strong, and probably why they're looking at that high pick-em rate here from the community. The Foxes taking a pot shot, getting one in early. PC taking all the Worms' helmets off as he keeps this ball close to the ground.
Yeah, one of the things that you can't let the Foxes do is get a lot of shots on net. If you take a look at the stats, you take a look at the paper, the Hurricanes are struggling with just giving up a lot of shots on net, and the Foxes' defense is pretty strong. So even if the Hurricanes can start to get something going, they're usually giving up about 6 shots per game.
And good chance there, a little double commit on the back line for the Foxes. It's a pinch out to Donovan, but it couldn't make it. Now Spooky's heading the other way. A good little ground pinch there. Donovan, great positioning on the back line. Badgie's going to be able to send this one back into the Hurricanes' half. PC up to fake, not enough to get by Jay here. And the Hurricanes' defense, minus that first early goal, looking extremely strong so far.
Yeah, definitely just keeping possession right now. Foxes, though, still hold the shot count 2-1. Now Morgan coming down in the corner, trying to fight with Badgie. Badgie clears that one out, but gets demoed by Spooky. Just Peachy now trying to take control of this one. Gives it up to Spooky. Shot on net, but that one's deflected by Badgie. Now Morgan up in the left side corner, trying to get a shot off, but he can't quite put it away. And Just Peachy puts this one out. Now back to the Hurricanes side. A little bit of back and forth here in the midfield.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's been a back and forth battle. Usually in these early matches, one team will kind of have less nerves, one team a little bit more nervous, and you kind of get a one-sided match early on. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head here. This is just back and forth. This PC up again, but a great shadow defense save by Jay there. Spooky with the ball. A good 50-50 by Badgie, a good charge there. And the Hurricanes not scared to take control of this ball and kind of slow down the pace of play in their own half, as Donovan just up early and up quick as PC takes it back to his own side. A little bit of retreat, trying to buy some time for his teammates. But again, 50'd in that corner, and back and forth it goes. We get a flip reset. Can he do anything up past the mid? Morgan with a shot, but a great save by Badgie.
Yeah, what's going to be crazy about this game is I have seen a ton of shots so far, probably 2 or 3 that haven't counted as shots, as Donovan puts one away. That definitely counts as a shot, definitely counts as a goal. A great clear upfield, just reads the bounce off the backboard. Plenty of defenders there for the Hurricanes, but they just can't get a touch on it. But what I was saying there, Flumsky, basically, you know, these plays getting bumped off into the sidewalls, trying to, I'm totally lost my track, and I'll come back to my point in a little bit, but the Foxes are just pounding. I'm just going and going. The Foxes are just pounding the net right now, just clearing away, pounding the ball, and the Hurricanes, I think, have time of possession right now, but the Foxes just putting away shot after shot.
Yeah, I mean, the accuracy for the Foxes right now, 75%, 3 goals on 4 shots coming out of the Foxes, and 2 out of the 4 assisted. So not only did the Foxes come out in a matching uniform with everybody rocking the same decal, you know what I mean? They're coming out with the team chemistry too. You can tell this 5-man roster, they got the connections. They must play a lot. You know what I mean? It's kind of what you're left with when you only got that many players on your team. Is Badgie unfortunately hits this to the sidewall. He kind of had an open opportunity there. A demo for Jay. Donovan, a great touch. Not enough, though. 2 Foxes players deep. So, again, they're going to take control. In the battles at midfield, Donovan, a good little back pass here. And I think you're right with the time of possession here. The Fox is not scared to just bang the ball. Donovan with a massive double touch opportunity here. But the Fox is not scared to, like, bang the ball around as Morgan. An unbelievable shot seemingly out of nowhere out of the corner.
Yeah, Flumsky, I finally got myself together here, got my act together, cleaned up. What I was trying to say was that there's a lot of shots that are being taken on net, and I think probably should be counted as shots that I'm not seeing come up, not seeing get counted. So there's a lot of battles right in the midfield, right in the thirds of, right on the edge of the thirds and the halves of the field, and it's really still a back and forth game right now with 4 shots and 6 shots respectively for the Hurricanes and the Foxes. The Foxes and both teams just fighting for the ball, just scrimming for them in the midfield. And with this pass now over Donovan trying to take control in the middle of field, a demo clearing the way there by Just Peachy. Beautiful team play, control by Donovan, just kind of thrown away Spooky. The Hurricanes looking a little shaky with some of their centering plays, not quite knowing where their teammates are.
Yeah, and that's a massive heads-up play there by Just Peachy to get in front of that play after he gets one touch. Knows Badgie's way on the back line, great communication out of them. And then Donovan just, like you said, unbelievable control to get that soft touch, get on the side of his car to make sure he controls it. And then he can just kind of dribble in the net while he waits for PC. But Morgan's downfield, gets the cherry pick, gets the touch, and a catch of his own there. Just for Jay, a great pass off the 50-50. Morgan, great positioning to know to turn around there and just catch the ball and just drive it in the net.
Just a little bit of panic here from this Foxes team. Just Peachy, Donovan, and Badgie. I'm going to have to take another look. It does look like this is a team that was 5-0'd last week. So we see, you know, the change in the lineup, seeing a decision by the team and the leadership on the team to make sure that they keep the same guys in, maybe seeing glimpses of good things. Good starts, but a little shaky here in the second half of the game.
Yeah, and they're, again, just moving the ball downfield. Spooky a little bit too far. PC, not enough boost there. Going to be a drop pass. Donovan there to receive it, but it's not going to be on net. The Fox is sending a little bit too much there, but the Hurricanes not connecting in time. This one's on net, and it's going to sneak in. The Hurricanes escaping with one there as all 3 Foxes players piled up in the Hurricanes net, and then all 3 Hurricane players on the side. But Morgan says, all right, I got to get this under control. Slams it on net. Props to him for getting the ball in the net. It's hard to do. The open net's tough to make, but when when you realize that all 3 Foxes players are behind you, sometimes you just take a deep breath. Get your wits about you and just shoot one.
Yeah, and with just now 7 seconds left to go, close game now. This started out as a Fox Fest, They were totally in control, but now the Hurricanes trying to take a lead here, try to tie this game up, actually, but they can't do it. Fox has come away with game one, and the first half of that game, Flumsky, was pretty much exactly what I expected. More shots from the Foxes, just booming them down the field on net. Like I said, a lot of those were so close to the midfield, and they were so close on the challenges that they weren't counted as shots, but I would count them as saves, because if you're not there and your team, couple of triple commits in there for the Foxes near the end of the game, that's what's going to make the difference in ML.
Yeah, you gotta like just calm down a little bit. You gotta gather yourself back up. I mean, that it's tough. It's tough to be in that situation where all three players dive. Everybody wants to make the shot. They think they can make something happen, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean, the bumps that you're getting are on your other two teammates, and you're like, wait, that means nobody's back. And all three Hurricanes players are on the ball seemingly, and like we said, Morgan able to get his wits about him, figure out what the heck was going on in that situation, and just takes the ball, gets it on net, and they run away with one there. But like you said, the Foxes had 3 goals on 4 shots early in that game. That was about 2 minutes into the game. There's three minutes or so left on the clock when they did that. And then really just kind of quiet their second half over to the second half of the game with only 1 goal, and the Hurricanes almost making a comeback there at the end. PC, great mind about him to get to the side of that ball and just kill it to get into this next game, but a little bit worrisome for the Foxes there towards the end of game 1.
Yeah, definitely not the way that you wanted to finish the game. But one thing that you mentioned that I think is important to note, the Foxes with really the major physical play of that game, with the demo from Just Peachy to set up that goal that basically was the difference maker there, making the game 4-3. But now as we go into game 2, 4:30 left to play, Donovan following this one, going back, letting this one go to Just Peachy, trying to take control, getting this one over Spooky, but Morgan's there. Donovan now ripping this one across field down to Jay on the Hurricanes, who will be taking this one on the right side of the field, playing it up the wall, trying to center this one, gets it down, shot on goal, but beautiful save by Just Peachy. Now Badgie clearing this one away. Jay trying to control down to Spooky. Spooky on the left side with an opportunity. Gets the reset, but can't get this ball. Gets it in front of the net, and Morgan puts this one away. A beautiful, a series of touches by the Hurricanes that makes this game 1-0, capitalizing off the momentum off of game 1.
Yeah, they definitely had the momentum of the game 1 there. Like you said, the great flip reset there, a great read by Morgan to see that the Foxes were beat their last man on defense. So, again, for everybody in the chat, if you see something you like, you see a play you like, don't forget to hit !POTW. Submit those clips for Play of the Week for our MLE podcast Open Net on Wednesdays. But the Hurricanes going to take this one to the corner. A great little outlet pass here to Morgan, but Just PC there with a massive 50-50, and Jay tries to get the read on it, can't get behind it, falls in front of it, and slams it in his own net, and PC's going to walk away with credit for this goal.
Yeah, that's a tough one there with the waterfall coming off the corner. Just a touch that you don't want, but the Fox is good to get a response there. You don't want to let that go unanswered. You basically go from, I believe, 3 or 4 unanswered points there to basically giving up the lead to game 2. That's exactly what you don't want, is Badgie now trying to challenge here and keep this ball on the Hurricane side of the field, capitalize on that momentum. Just Peachy now challenging, keeping the ball in the corner, now keeping it over Morgan. Spooky says, not in my house. Badgie now centering. Jay clears this one away. Now back to Donovan there on the Foxes side, and it's a game of ping pong here in the corner, as it's a bunch of plays. Most of these balls getting cleared right up over the net, so playing from corner to corner on the Hurricane side there.
I like that little outlet pass there by Donovan. He sees Badgie, grabs the mid boost, sees him cut up the wall, or tells him to, whatever the comms are for the Foxes there, slams one, almost connects it. And an almost great opportunity, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, said Donovan. A great 50 at the high wall. But the Hurricanes' rotations on the back line, very solid. You can almost watch them, mesmerizingly go through the net one after the other, making great save after great save. And they're starting to do it on the offensive side here as Morgan gets a challenge and then Jay gets one towards the net. Spooky gets beat here. This is on net and it's going to go in. Badgie with the sniper shot from downtown slams one trying to buy some time for his team, and great accuracy out of him.
Yeah, when you take a look at the Hurricanes on paper, right, they give up quite a few shots per game, averaging 9 shots per game against. Taking 9 shots against per game. So their defense pretty solid, especially when you look at their goals for. But the real challenge here is if the Foxes can just get the connection that they're looking for, then they're going to be able to get more shots on net. And basically you're looking at, if you get more than 10 shots per game, you're probably going to outscore the Hurricanes. So basically, if you're the Foxes here, you just want to get every shot on net that you can.
Yeah, and great way to stand still there by the Foxes. They realize it's only one guy with the ball. He's kind of low on boost there. You know he's working a lot to get that ball back. And they just say, okay, wait, and we'll get it clear. We can buy ourselves some time. So the Hurricane's going to take a shot on net, but it's just wide. Morgan gets a demo on the way through, but it's not enough. Donovan, a great little save there on the retreat. A little bit awkward. He beats one. Can he get back to the ball? He can't, but he gets a boost steal. Going back the other way. A good grab there in the corner. Spooky with all the time in the world. Donovan up quick. A double commit out of the Foxes. This could be bad news. EC on the retreat. A great touch there. And this Foxes team, you know what I mean? They're really trying to send 2 guys at once and leave 1 guy at home. It's working out for them so far, and you can see this game's really calmed down on the goal side of things. It's really less of a shootout and more of a defensive battle. We saw the ping pong in game 1, but this is more of let's leave somebody at home. Let's make sure we always got 2 guys attacking, trying to make a 2-man team play work, and just leave somebody back, as again, the Foxes just stalwart on that last line.
Yeah, definitely a more strategic gameplay here from the Foxes. And the Hurricanes are basically giving the Foxes the chance to do that. They're saying, hey, we have a lot of faith in our defense and what we can do. So if you want to go and draft up, a backyard football play, draw it out on the ball and try and capitalize off the pass, we're going to let you do that because we trust our defense enough. They try to get the opportunity, and what a save by Donovan. Game-winning save there by Donovan. Great play by the Foxes. And it's been 2 close games, but both of them squeaked out by the Foxes so far. What do you think, Flopsky?
That is one of the most deflating plays that could ever happen to the Hurricanes. And it is so unfortunate because you get Badgie and Donovan in an awkward position. You get a win on the soft 50-50. Morgan's got a wide open shot. Maybe everybody in that situation is a little bit low on boost. I didn't have all the counters up, but you know what I mean? In that situation, you got 4 seconds on the clock when Morgan hits the ball, and he's just like, if I can just get this ball towards the net, it's just going to roll in. We're in overtime. We got a chance. And then Donovan, with the recovery of a lifetime, has the nails to get behind the ball like that. You catch that ball anywhere else, or you rush that a little bit too much, and that ball is in the back of your net every time on an own goal, which is almost a worse feeling than it just going in the net because you had the opportunity. You touched the ball, you got a piece of it, it's in your net because of you, essentially. But Donovan nerves a steal with 1 second on the clock, has to get the perfect touch, and he does. Gets the Foxes win too, and the Hurricanes now with a lot of work left to do to get this reverse sweep.
Yeah, they want to get the work to do the reverse sweep, but really at this point, you do kind of, I guess it's more of a question. Do you have concern for the Foxes? I mean, on paper, the Foxes should beat the Hurricanes. There's no question about it. There's the concern of not having Metagriff to play. But when you look at just Peachy Badgie and Donovan, they're playing well. They're kind of playing to their opponent, though. And that would be my biggest concern is the Foxes have shown moments of team plays in which they could probably win games against the Hurricanes by 2 to 3 goals. But both of these games so far have been really close. Do you have any concerns for the Foxes playing to their opponents like that?
I think the Fox's gameplay overall is the more solid gameplay, but I think what we're missing here is we're missing the opportunity. I think what I've seen more than anything is the Hurricanes have the ability, they have the mechanics for the solo play, but they just have not been able to get it set up. We saw the flip reset pass earlier in this series. We've seen them taking the ball off the wall. We've seen them trying to chip the ball up to themselves or get a couple flicks here and there, but they seemingly can only beat one. As Spooky again, here he goes off the wall. He gets a good little catch there. It's to the back wall, but Jay just can't get up in time. So we're seeing the ability out of the Hurricanes to get a player or two beat, but they just can't finish. And Donovan, a great shot, but a better save there. And Badgie can't quite get this away. So I think we need to see some solo plays here out of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I definitely think that we do need to see some more solo plays from the Hurricanes. But speaking of solo plays, beautiful save there on that last push by the Foxes there on the Hurricanes. Now Morgan for the Hurricanes in the corner. Donovan kind of passing it back towards his own side, but there's two Hurricane players there, and a beautiful shot by the Hurricanes. Beautiful save there by Donovan. And they're really just pushing now for some challenges. Donovan with a dangerous play there on the side of the net, but what a save by Just Peachy. Donovan now with another save, and it's a save clinic here on the Foxes side of the field now as the Hurricanes can't quite finish this one off. What another save by Just Peachy. If you want to go to save school, go to the Foxes Academy of Dance because they are putting on a show right now.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I mean, you can put saves up for play of the week too. Why not? It's still a play. It's not goal of the week. It's not assist of the week. It's play of the week! Exclamation mark POTW. If you like that ridiculous series of saves out of the Foxes, I mean, unbelievable. What do you do there if you're the Hurricanes? You just like look at it and you go, these guys are peaking. What do we got to do to get this ball in the net? I mean, it seems like every shot they took, again, it's just a 50-50 out of nowhere. Another ball that was seemingly in the net. PC gets behind that one, and then it's back in front of the net. Donovan's still there. And again, just a great touch off the back wall by Donovan.
There was one point where Just Peachy was kind of backpedaling. He was driving forward, but he was driving back towards his own net, and he gets up and he just gets that little touch that, again, like you were saying, it apparently would be in the net, but he just gets there. And Donovan with another play, that ball would be in the net. No business making that save. Makes that save. We're now up to 8 shots by the Hurricanes and 3 shots, apparently, by the Foxes, but 7 saved by the Foxes as the Foxes finally put that one away. Just Peachy to Donovan, and that's what we're talking about, Flumsky, with the team plays from the Foxes. They just continue to make those rotations, make those saves, and then when the opportunity is there, they're putting one away. They don't need to score 5 or 6 goals when they score when it matters.
Yeah, but the one thing I'd be scared of if I'm the Foxes is Badgie with another great touch off the sidewall. PC in position, but a great save there by Spooky. If I'm the Foxes, what I'm worried about is the wall can only stand for so long, right? You can get 7, 8, 9, 10 saves a game, but if you're only winning by 1 goal, eventually that wall's gonna break. And if the Hurricanes can feed off that momentum, if they can finally go, all right, we can beat these guys, we can get it in their net, then you gotta be scared if you're the Foxes. But the way that they're, big double commit here. PC, a great touch, but a better save by Spooky. But like I said, if you're the Foxes and you finally get beat, I mean, you might be worried the Hurricanes now with a little bit of momentum, if they can score. They only got 34 seconds left to do it. It's PC, can't quite get it. Badgie trying to get the 50. No one's home for the Foxes here, but Donovan, the shadow defense out of Donovan this whole series, he's just where he needs to be at the right time.
Yeah, the back play on the defense here by the Foxes is just immaculate. Just being able to get back and make those saves, even when it looks like they should be on the back foot there. And then just the ease of the turn for the Foxes. I think when they're getting pounded on defense, like we said before, we're up to 9 shots by the Hurricanes, and we have 7 saves by the Foxes. A complete shutout right now. They're putting on a save clinic, a defensive clinic, but now a center kind of an own center there by the Foxes to Jay. Looks like the ball got over Donovan there to just PC and played to the middle. 2 seconds left. It's possible, like you said.
It is.
Now this is concerning the momentum. The momentum.
Yeah, and if I'm Badgie here, I got to be careful on this face-off. The Dominus probably, the ball's just going to fall straight to the ground.
Just straight
Morgan's
down.
so close to getting that boost and the ball. The thing I was going to say I was scared about the most there, if I'm Badgie on that face-off, you got to jump and make sure you get on top of that ball on the kickoff, because as a Dominus player, if you land from your flip from the boost pad coming in and you get a little bit down too early and they hit that ball into you, that ball is going to the moon. It's going to go off the top of that flat hitbox. It's going to be up in the air, and that's what gives the Hurricanes a chance. Unfortunately, Morgan just a pixel too slow to get to that ball with that full boost pad on the side. And the Foxes, so props to them. I mean, 3 games up, 3 games down, 7 saves to boot in this third game. So they're going to take the series here. And if the Hurricanes desk want to take 2 games towards the end of the series, what do you think they got to do?
I think that if the Hurricanes want to take the next 2 games of this series, they have to just slow down the play a little bit. Like you said, spread out the field, maybe make it work so that they can get a solo play going. Right now, they're just playing into the hands of the Foxes. The Foxes are taking the heat, and they're taking it well. That last game, 9 shots was the last time I looked. 9 shots, 7 saves. Unheard of, and a complete shutout in that game. Low-scoring games all around. If you're the Hurricanes, you got to swing the field quickly and try to get a team play or 2 going, but really capitalize on some of the mechanic skill that you have as this Hurricanes team.
Yeah, and for everybody in the chat, if you're new to MLE, if this is your first stream with us, or if you're just somebody passing through, here in MLE, we play all 5 games of a series. Our record, our overall record, does matter for our play-in games. So even though the Foxes are going to take the series win, we have to find out what's going to happen in game 4 and 5 here. In Desk, as an MLE player, one of the easiest games, I shouldn't say easy, but one of the games that you can come out on top of a lot is this game 4, especially when you lose this series. You can kind of catch the team that's won the series 3-0 on their back foot. They kind of take a breath. They relax a little bit. Good job, guys. We got the series win. We got the first 3. You know what I mean? And they might take their foot off the gas. So you can kind of come out here and maybe sneak one away as this ball is going towards the Hurricanes net, and the Fox is going to make me eat my own words as they're going to get the first goal at 4 minutes in this game.
Well, and kind of the inverse of what you're saying there, too. If you're the Hurricanes, you kind of come out and you say, well, boys, we don't have anything left to lose now, right? We lost the series. Let's at least just go out here and have fun. Sometimes that helps you. Sometimes that hurts you. It gets you up there with an aggressive, kind of 3 triple commit. But at the end of the day, you're just out here now. At this point, you're trying to have fun. You're trying to figure things out. Both teams right now, you're kind of trying to feel out, what are your looks? If you're the Foxes, you know that you have a great chance of playing in the playoffs, right? You now won this series. You're at the top of your division. So you want to make sure that you're playing in a way that's smart, but also that you can figure out the most about your team. So maybe try to play a little bit of a different play style, see how well you can do. Try to play to the Hurricanes, right? The Foxes were doing that a little bit earlier on, and they were struggling. So they want to maybe know what's going on. As there's a shot ripped on net there by the Foxes, they're not easing up. So if you're the Hurricanes now too, you're kind of in the same boat, but for a different reason, right? You have to win the next few matches that you have. And if you don't,
you can't win much if this happens. Spooky, it looked like a ghost touch on my screen, so super unfortunate. That, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head there. The Hurricanes trying to send the house, trying to make anything or something happen there. A little bit of a ghost touch from my POV from Spooky, I think it was, and PC just gonna be able to walk that one in the net. The Fox is taking a 2-0 lead here. And something I've kind of noticed throughout this series is the Foxes have had a couple of double commits. As Badgie A great read off the back wall. The pass from PC at Dominus Power is shown right there. He gets up quick, just beats Morgan to the ball. Spooky trying to get back to the front of the net, but that shot just too fast off that Dominus hitbox.
Yeah, and the challenges by the Foxes. There's no really, like you said, there's the potential that the winning team will take their foot off the gas, but they're not doing that. Badgie with flip reset. They're just putting another one away now as if it's a day at the office. And I don't know really at this point, if you're the Hurricanes, I think my concern is at this point as a team, you went 0-5 last week. Now you just went 0-3. You lost the series. You're coming into game 4. You're down 4-0 where you were playing really well earlier on. At what point do you start getting discouraged? And so, like, if you're the coach, you got to make sure that the players aren't getting discouraged, that they're still playing, getting ready for the next game, just playing one game at a time. But now it seems like they're settling back in. They're playing a little more conservatively, but they're trying to get back into their groove of what their game is.
Yeah, and in that play, it was Badgie was just up super quick to read that pass across the field. And if you're going to go for passing plays against this Foxes team, they're going to have to be a little bit more crisp. Morgan can be able to walk this one home. Can he get a piece of it? He can. A little bit nerve-wracking there, but a great recovery on the first touch here at a Morgan. I don't know if the first touch is going in, but he sure did make it go in. Great recovery by then. There's still 2 minutes left in this game. They're only down 3. It's not the end of the world for them. I think they still got time to make it up, but they got to get another one quick here.
Yeah, the Hurricanes now at this point, they're starting to feel the pressure of we want to get a win. How do we do that? We have a glimpse of hope, and really, it's the fact that the Foxes aren't slowing down the pressure that they have, and the Hurricanes can use that now. It's just Peachy trying to make a flip reset play off there, just gets a little bit too much of that one and keeps it up against the backboard. Now Spooky taking control for the Hurricanes, maybe trying to get a solo play as he pops this one in front of the net, but it's just a little too wide. Now Morgan trying to challenge, keep this one in. A pass there from Donovan to Badgie. Now from Spooky back to Donovan, and cross just off the mark, off the post, and Jay pushing this one up against the backboard. Great defense here from the Hurricanes now, settling back in. We haven't seen anything for a bit, but just Peachy there. Well, a dunk, was that a ceiling touch there off the top? No, he was just up high, aerial, and a beeline to the net. Beautiful touch.
I don't know if that hit crossbar down, but it deserved to. I mean, that's an unbelievable shot, an unbelievable read. This Foxes team, something I have noticed is, like, whether they double commit or they make a bad or awkward touch, as Morgan, another great shot there. I was going to say the Foxes had a great ability to recover. Donovan trying to leave that one for Badgie. It's just beat by Spooky, and Morgan able to just take a ripper of a shot with great placement there to get the Hurricanes back within 3 with a minute left. They got time to work here, but this face-off not going to go in their favor. Morgan on the other side of the field, a great touch out of PC and a great read out of Donovan as the Foxes respond quick here.
Yeah, and it's just coming back to what we were talking about earlier with the Hurricanes and just giving up so many shots, giving up 9 shots per game. That's going to come back to bite you eventually. You're going to get tired. There is a defense fatigue that plays into it. And now at this point, we're seeing, like you said before, we're kind of seeing that dam on the river break, right? And we're just seeing these goals flood in now, 6-2, as this ball goes hurtling across the field here. Just PC now keeping this one in the Hurricane side of the field, keeping it in front of the net. Now 2 Foxes back in the back half of the field. Just PC trying to get a touch there, but Badgie trying to set it back up on this Hurricane side. They can't get it out of their own side of the field. Just PC now centering the ball. Challenge there from Donovan, but just enough there from Jay to keep this one out. Just PC now going in, trying to control this ball. Donovan now probably just going to keep this one. It's kind of floating, this ball. Could the Hurricane get one more just to try and get a little more momentum to go into Game 5? They can't.
A little bit of a team bump there. The Foxes wanted to keep that going, have a little bit more fun with it. And something I always like to pay attention to is where some of these players are at in their own headspace. So like when you see a team come out in a car setup that matches, right? Like the Foxes did, they all got the butterfly decal on. Um, you I pay attention to see how long that lasts, right? Sometimes if you lose a game or you get a couple bad goals scored on you, it can go down. But a lot of these players standing strong on where they are. So the Hurricanes, again, they got 6 shots that game. The Foxes with another 4 saves. So the only 2 shots that went by the Foxes in the back of the net, both of them there for Morgan. The Hurricanes, they just got to get a little bit speedier. The Foxes up to these passes quicker. And that's why I said I think the Hurricanes better off going for these solo plays. We know they can do it. We've seen a couple of flip resets out of them. We've seen that flip reset pass off the back wall. I keep going back to that because it was such an unbelievable play. We need to see one guy try to beat a player or two by himself and get this ball advanced down the field. The Fox is just too good at intercepting a pass, so it's got to be a solo effort here out of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and you take a look at just kind of the shots against, as we said before, we've seen a lot of defenses throughout the league, throughout the MLE, that have sort of a defensive-minded, a bend but don't break kind of mindset. I think one of the favorites for FL is the Spartans, right? They have Tordad, they have some really defensive-minded players, kind of that bend but don't break attitude. But right now, the Hurricanes trying to live by that mentality, but they're taking 12 shots per game. That last one, 12 shots, 12-6, getting outshot 2-1 are the Hurricanes. And you're just going to break after all that. The fatigue sets in, and you're just not going to be able to get all of the shots that you want now, as the Hurricanes trying to put some pressure on, and the Foxes trying to play ball control, but now back to a little bit of ping pong, kind of like we saw at the beginning of the series.
Yeah, and we're under a minute into this game, just about to hit the 1 minute mark, and the Hurricanes already having to make 3 saves on 3 shots here. As the Foxes get another one towards the net, not going to register as a shot. A team bump for the clear, so good for the Hurricanes to get this ball out. Oh, good read and a good pass across the midfield, but no one there to receive. I think that's something else we've been missing throughout the series, Desk, is I think they've been too scared of this pass play just getting eaten up by the Foxes, that a lot of the time they're not diving from second position, as they make me eat my own words. Again, a great demo out of Jay and the Hurricanes with what might be their first lead of the series.
Yeah, and now at this point, if you're the Hurricanes, you're saying, okay, we got to change what we're doing, because the whole, I keep coming back to it, the bend but don't break, it's not working. So we got to get up, and we got to get forward, and we got to get physical. And you see it there in that play with the demo. Beautiful pass, beautiful setup, and beautiful goal. Now, if you're the Hurricanes, you're breathing life back into your program, because you went 0-5. You're at the risk now of going 0-10. And you don't want to do that in back-to-back weeks, especially when you were doing so well at the beginning of the season. But now the Foxes come back, and they get kind of a weird goal, just a beautiful shot and placement there by PC. A little bit of an overdrive there by Jay, just barely missing that one as it sneaks into the corner.
Yeah, and the Foxes, the times that the Hurricanes tied the game up, where they got one on the Foxes extremely good at getting that goal back. They respond extremely quickly. And I think it just comes back to exactly that. Their just rotations are so crisp. They know when to cut. Badgie with a great 50 at midfield causes Spooky to make any sort of jump. And Donovan just full-on head dive downfield, says, PC, please go back. I got this. PC listens, doesn't cut the ball off, and Donovan just slams one back at the net. Again, after, they just make the Hurricanes make these awkward saves or these awkward touches. They just hit the ball hard and fast. And the Hurricanes just tough spot to respond here. The give and go out of Morgan and Jay there. But again, it's not going to be enough. PC doesn't connect, but he does enough to get the Hurricanes off the ball here.
Yeah, and just beautiful patience and awareness by the Foxes. Of course, you have to have a lot of awareness to make team plays, but also just to set something up. Now, PC launching this ball downfield, but Jay, a beautiful kind of off-foot save there. Now taking this ball kind of dangerously into the middle of the field. You're seeing kind of a different approach here by the Hurricanes, kind of an attempt to make those solo plays, but just PC also showing out tonight. 2 goals so far in this game, and the beautiful carry around just sends it right over Spooky and Morgan. Puts that one top right. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, and again, I think it's just an unfortunate circumstance of how hard the Foxes are hitting the ball. But when Jay carried that ball out to midfield, when PC got it, I think Badgie might have got the 50 and PC took control of it. There's just no Hurricane players there in sight. There was one that was demoed, the other guy in the corner getting bruised, and they're just not there to help on the breakout play. So PC gets another one to the back wall. Morgan's got control of it. Oh, he fakes one. Pass is going to be to midfield, but it's not enough. Spooky again by himself on the back line. And no one there to help him on the clears. He's got to make another retreating touch on his own back wall. So the Hurricanes just struggling to help get the ball downfield, a big booming clear, but it's just right back into the Foxes' hands.
Yeah, and one of the things that I'm noticing a little bit too, is something that we were covering in our matches earlier in the week, is that, you know, when you clear out of the offensive end, you want to make sure that you're trying to, you know, get a little bit of a physical touch. Make sure that you're taking the boost from the other team. The Hurricanes kind of retreating pretty quickly, which allows them to get back quickly and make those saves, but it leaves the Foxes a lot of breathing room, so they can afford to take those shots and those poundings as they're a beautiful save yet again by the Foxes defense, and just immediate pressure from the Hurricanes, but they can't seem to put anything away. As Jay makes me eat my words, we're just having a regular old buffet out here, aren't we, Flumsky? Right. And that one waterfalls down. Now a little bit of life. 48 seconds left to go. 2-3 for the Hurricanes.
And I was going to bring it up when you're done, is I liked what the Hurricanes were doing in that last 15, 20 seconds or so. Is, you know what I mean? You got to start sending people at the ball. You have to make sure someone's just cutting and challenging, whether it's calmed or you just make it as a player. Jay there was the one to make the original touches. He's going to get a nice squishy save there, dunked by Badgie though. But you have to start getting cars on the ball. You have to just you have to get pressure. Like right here, you need to get Morgan on the ball quicker. He can't be playing cutesy. He can't be trying to get the better 50 out of it. He's just got to get on the ball. He's going to get the lead block here. Donovan, unbelievable recovery there, if you want to call it that. He dodges a demo, makes Morgan go flying to the back wall, and then he gets the turn. He gets back to the ball, saves the game. Right after it was PC, was the one who saved the game after that. Another one of those daring goal line saves for the Foxes, and they're just going to walk away here with 5 games.
Yeah, man, there's so many things to be said. If you're the Foxes, you came and you cemented your spot. You said, yes, we deserve to be at the top of our division, near the top of the conference, the top of the league here in ML, in threes. They did well, right? Especially when you're playing without Metagriff. We mentioned that at the beginning of the game. It looked a little shaky, even though they won. They swept, but they really came out in the last 2 games and just looked so strong, especially the last 3 games even. But the Hurricanes, now you've gone 0-10. You go into the next week and you say, hey, what are we going to do to turn it around here in these next couple of games?
Yeah, that's tough. You got to sit down. You got to talk to the squad. You got to figure out what needs to get done. I mean, we saw a lot of positives out of the Hurricanes. We saw them, like we talked about a lot, to be able to make those solo plays. They have the ability. It's just they could not connect, whether that's the Foxes doing or that's just the second man not jumping at the proper time. I don't know. It's a lot to work out. But after going 0-10, you got to sit down with the gang and you got to go, okay, what do we got to do to turn this around? It's not over yet. There's still a lot of time to work here. You can turn this around. You can sneak into the play-in games. And I fully think they're capable of that. They got a lot of good players on their roster, on the bench still. And they can turn it around. But I just wanted to point this out right before we sign off here. The 3 players that came out for the Foxes, on their standard roster are the 3 lowest performing Sprocket players on that roster. They all were below 55 Sprocket rating. So for them to come out on stream, get a 5-0, do it in seemingly dominant fashion is mad props to Foxes, the team they built over there. Good for them. Again, only 5 players on that roster. So whether the Foxes are your favorite team, the Shadow are your favorite team, whatever your favorite team is, don't forget to hit !Proline. Snag some jerseys from Guardian Proline. They're unbelievable. But don't go anywhere. We're hopping back into Champions League next here in a couple minutes. So again, don't go anywhere. We got one more match tonight. We're going to send this thing off with a bang. So again, don't go anywhere.
We'll see.